Hey DJ World, I am here in my kitchen because it is super cold up here in Billings, Montana, where I DJ, and it's really cold in my garage, and that's where my turntables sit most of the time when I'm playing. I'm here to talk about the Reloop 8000s and the TSI I built for Traktor Pro 3. The one that they had on Reloop's website was a little bit glitchy and didn't have all the effects that I wanted to do or have on the turntable. So I put them in there. They did come with the loops. The loops worked great. Or not loops, excuse me. The cues worked great. So each cue works just fine. If you hold down Q, you can, of course, delete them and then just push it to put back up. The loops were also on there, and it worked decently. It started at an eighth. Started at an eighth, went to fourth and a half, first to all the way to 16, which they worked just fine. The sampler it did not have the option in their TSI, so I did it. And I just linked it to deck C, and it only has the first four because the remix decks, and I couldn't figure out how to get it to the bottom part for some reason. So they work decently. You can press them over, and you can load your drops in there. It would work just like Serato's sampler, but Serato sampler does have 8, not 4. Would be the difference. The slicer mode is pretty interesting. I've never used Slicer before, but that's what they had in there. So how I got it to work is, so you turn on Slicer mode, and then you press it again to activate it, and it'll activate the 8 measures, and then you can go through and then you can also do it while it's running. So while it's running, you can do it. And you can do that while the turntable is running too. And turntable mode or absolute mode, it just doesn't need to be done right now. The other one I did was the roll effect, which is right here. It says roll, and if you hit it twice, the green light will blink, and then it's roll. So there's quite a few of them. It starts at 4 beats. It kind of does a little lag. It's actually Beat Masher for the effect that I used. And you can go down or up. The only thing you can't do is press and then pick up and press again really fast. You do have to, it has a split second. If somebody else can figure out how to edit the TSI to make that work, there was a modifier in there, and I was trying to learn how to do it, but I could not get it to work. Let me show you how you set it up in Traktor, because that was another more difficult part to it. One of them, so if you're here, you're going to have Beat Masher on 3. I like to use a lot of effects, so this is the way I have it set up, but it has to be on 3, and it has to be the 3 effects in there for 3. I think you have to set it up, all of them that way, in your preferences. So you'd go to preferences, go to mixer, or excuse me, go to not mixer, you'd go to effects, and then effects 1, effects 2, and then you do 4 unit effects, and I did group effects, but you can do just group effects on 3, it looks like, and then single effects on all the other ones, but you have to have group effects 3, and then you just go to group effect 3, and oh, there we go, and go here to this list, and you would select Beat Masher 2, and then everything else is set up. It's all set up after you do that. Then to set up the turntables into Traktor is a little different. So wherever you download the TSI to, such as downloads in your download file, you would go to Control Manager. You would load here, go to TSI, go to Import Other. Wherever you have it, I actually have it in Documents under Traktor Stuff 2, and that would be the Rp8000s. And then I'll have decks after it. It actually won't be Traktor Pro V1 because we're past that version. So there's that, and then when you load it, so you'd load it, I'm not going to load that one because I've edited it quite a bit. You would load it, and then you'd have Traktor A here, and I just put the ins and outs to the Rp8001, and then B I put to the Rp8000 #2, and then made sure that the device trigger was B, and on Rp8000s I made sure the device trigger was A, of course deck A, and then that was only linked to the 8000s. You can leave them on all ports. I did have a little trouble if I turned them on too fast that they would switch, so deck A would control B, B would control C. Also had trouble with the linking for the Reloop 8000s. There's a link where you can use the USB to plug in from deck B to deck A, and then deck A to your port in your mixer or to your computer. I never could get that to work right. So I plugged in deck A into my port in my mixer, and then deck B into my computer, and that is the only way I got it to work. Even if I used both ports in the Z2, that it still wouldn't read deck B. It would actually, they would control all the buttons on deck B would control deck A, but deck B's DVS system would work just fine. It would just be, you wouldn't have control of deck B. I hope this helps anybody. If you have any questions, you can email me from the DJ Techtools where you'll get this, or if I'm on Twitter, you can just get me on Twitter or at DJ Elevate, and Instagram at DJ ELOVATE, and I believe on Facebook at DJ ELOVATE also. Thanks. Bye.